Well, you might not think high school students would be at risk for heart attacks, but sudden cardiac death can hit athletes of any age, really. Well, now some students at two local school districts have signed for a special heart screening project. And Fox 4's Phil Alvarado live in Keller with a look at how the program could save students' lives. Phil.
And Steve, you don't think of teenagers as usually having a heart condition, but it does happen. And certainly you'd want to know if you were at risk if you're participating in something like student sports. That's why the Keller ISD is participating in a study to determine if regular heart screenings can help identify students who are in risk of sudden cardiac death.
All right, get your width, get your width. Good job.
Student sports are physical, strenuous, and competitive. Staying fit and conditioned helps avoid injury, but there are hidden dangers.
Tragically, there has been some loss of life across the nation for young student athletes that have cardiac events.
A family near Houston has been pushing for mandatory electrocardiograms since their son died in his sleep from sudden cardiac arrest 4 years ago.
And it's a very passionate topic.
It's why Keller ISD is joining Richardson ISD in a voluntary ECG clinical test for student athletes and marching band members.
I think it's exciting that we're going to have some data to work from to see if it's something that is a viable option or if it's going to help kids.
The data will eventually reach state legislators who will likely take up the question of mandatory heart screenings again next session. For its part, Keller ISD already has safeguards in place.
10 to 15 coaches at every practice that are CPR and first aid certified. And then we have medical professionals, 1 to 3 athletic trainers at every practice and event. And we're 20 yards from an AED at all times in events and practice.
About 20% of Texas school districts already require an ECG with a regular physical exam. In Keller, 2 schools will be a control group. Students at 2 other schools will get their heart screenings, again, all voluntary.
But we know a relatively small amount of our kids will test positive, and an even smaller amount will likely have an actual issue.
Now, the testing will begin in a couple of weeks. They'll be done at school, and it won't cost the schools or the students anything. And now, if there is a need for a follow-up in certain cases, that first follow-up will be free. Now, of course, if the legislature makes this mandatory, then the parents would pay the cost of those heart screenings as they do now for the physical exams for student athletes. Steve?
Phil Alvarado, thank you.